So this is just an extension of the previous lesson where we were looking at construct and we were looking at the way that the output was being placed. It was being placed at the top of the page. We had an echo within this method, the carMake method, and some of this might have been a little bit confusing because of the values that we were using. Making a few updates to the previous lesson. Within this lesson, we're still setting the variable here, the property here of carMake, and what we're doing here is we're actually accessing this value that's available here, and we're setting the value that we got from construct within that. So when we do create that car blueprint, and if we want to make a Honda, we would send over that value into construct. We've got a variable value for carMake. We don't have it right now. It's null. There's nothing in there. And over here is where we're setting that value for carMake, which is going to be whatever value is being passed through when we're creating the object. And then what we did as well, we updated the function carMake to carMaker. And it's no longer echoing out that content, it's just returning the current value of carMake. So when we look at that, we see that the current value of the carMake is going to be returned as carMake, and it's going to be, right now, it's going to be whatever value is in here. So when we output our content, when we create our output string, we're calling in that object, we're calling the method carMaker, and all carMaker now, all that it's doing is it's just taking whatever this value, current value is, and it's returning it back, and that allows us to place it within the output string and place it within our output code here. So when we do refresh this, we see that our example now has Honda, and it's within that our HTML code. So when we look at the source code as well, we see that indeed that code has actually been passed into our HTML, and that original Honda has been set when we're creating our object. And I know what you're thinking, that this is really cool, and this really begins to show you the power of using object-oriented programming, where you can pass through values and reuse all of this content. So right now I can create a multiple instances of the same class, and I can have totally different content available within it. So essentially here we've just created a Honda, and now using that same class we've got a Lamborghini. So truly amazing how we can turn a Honda into a Lamborghini, and here we've just created object B, output B, object B. So we've potentially taken the same code we had here, just added B to it, typed in Lamborghini, and within the output here we're outputting B. And you can see that now we still have access to all of this information, and as we make adjustments to the different values, that property values that are available within the class, you can really see how powerful object-oriented programming can be, and the benefits of making these classes that are going to be reusable and able to plug those into your code and use them and have them output the desired content that you need within your code construction. So here we've got an example where we're actually calling in to those objects and using up some of that gas on the two different cars that we've created. And you can see here within the code we use the same object method that we had used before, where we do use gas, and we set the amount of gas that's being used. And of course our Lamborghini is using more gas than the Honda, and we see that gas left method returns different values because these are two separate objects, and whatever values we're manipulating within these objects are related only to that new object that was created. So this is object, and all that information here, all the methods and properties are related to object, and here we've got our object B, and all of these methods that run through and all the functionality is related to object B, and here we're just printing out the car maker of object B, and we're printing out how much gas is left after we've made a trip object B.